And we are live here in Cortland, New York on D3Hoops.com on Ustream.tv. And I am Frank Rossi with Jake Katz. Probably used to hearing him every so often on the radio broadcast here locally for Cortland. But he has promised to be the unbiased observer here today for us here on D3Hoops.com's presentation of the SUNYAC men's basketball final. Again, I'm Frank Rossi, fresh from a buzzer beater almost last night at Ramapo in Mahwah, New Jersey. So my voice is a little hoarse, Jake, as you can tell. You guys here, though, had a couple interesting games that led up to this final, whereas the NJAC plays their semifinals on Tuesday and plays their final on Friday. The entire four teams in the semis come to the number one seed site, which is Cortland, number 25 in the D3Hoops.com top 25 poll. And we saw some interesting action, but Cortland did come away with the win. Let's talk about the late game first. Cortland with that win yesterday against SUNY Oswego. It seemed to have an 11-point lead every time I checked in from halftime on. What was your take on that game?
You know, it was one of those games where Cortland was kind of up the entire game, but they could never really pull away. And at least what I like to say is, you know, you leave a team that, a team that you might be better than in the game, and, anything can happen. But basically, the first half, really, it was kind of Oswego was hanging in there, and Cortland was, like I said, they were up by 5-7. It seemed like they were up to 5-7 each time, but really in the first half, Cortland was just shooting threes. Oswego's defense was really good. They were making them shoot threes. They were getting up on him, and the reason Oswego stayed in the game in the first half was Hayden's Ward rebounding. He was unbelievable. We were talking about it in the first half yesterday. They had, I think, 8 offensive boards in the first half. It was the only thing keeping them in the game, but in the second half, you could really see, if you just look at the field goal disparity, they had 37.5 in the first half, 29 in the second half. Cortland really locked down on the D. They stepped it up on Brian Manning started hitting shots. Jesse Winter, he's a stud. He's going to take over when they need to. But that was a really scrappy game, but Cortland, came out. They did what they needed to do to win.
And that final score, 65-54 in favor of SUNY Cortland. And they're going to face tonight SUNY Plattsburgh. Plattsburgh State, they beat Geneseo last night by 10 points, but had to pull away after halftime. It was only a 2-point game at halftime in Plattsburgh's favor. So what did you see in that game that makes you think that Plattsburgh has a good chance maybe in this game to pull off what would be an upset?
Well, let's keep in mind that Plattsburgh did beat Cortland before, like when they played in Plattsburgh, but I think the reason was that the first half they really didn't get anything going. Second half they really started figuring out both offensively and defensively. They rotated better, they were shooting better, especially Kalik Parker is a guy to keep an eye on. He was hitting everything he took last night.
We're going to take a pause in a moment here for the national anthem, but remember, you're listening and watching D3Hoops.com on Ustream.tv.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to WT Pete Corey Gymnasium on the campus of the State University of New York, College at Cortland, for the 2013 SUNYAC Men's Basketball Tournament. Today's championship game features the number 2 seed Plattsburgh Cardinals and the number 1 seed Cortland Red Dragons. The winner of this game earns an automatic berth into the NCAA Division III tournament. And at this time, I ask you to please rise as we honor America as Stephanie DeCampo sings our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the
I sang like that, I wouldn't have a voice for 3 weeks. Let me tell you right now, nor would you want me to sing like that, but it's a whole nother story, my friend. We are live here at Cortland State for the SUNYAC championship game in the men's basketball tournament. Again, Frank Rossi with you here on D3Hoops.com, and our good friend Jake Katz joining me. We're going to go over the starters right now. And for SUNY Cortland, the starters will be as follows. Number 10, Jeremy Smith. He's a 6'1" senior guard from Bronx, New York. One of the two captains of the team is number 12, Jesse Winter. He is a 5'11" senior guard from Rockville Center, New York, in Long Island. Number 34. Now, of course, this is your first lesson you're going to give to me. Harrison Heffel.
Harrison Heffley.
Heffley. There we go. 6'3" senior guard from Green Lawn, New York. Dan Sternkoff. He is a 6'9" center from Washingtonville, New York. And number 50, Kevin McMahon. He is a 6'6" forward/center from Hoosick Falls, New York, up by me in the Saratoga Springs, Albany area over there. And Plattsburgh State comes in with these starters. Number 5, Chris Manning. He's a junior guard, 6'0" from Baldwin, New York. We have Shemoy McIntosh, number 11. He's a sophomore guard, 6'2" from Floral Park, New York. Number 21, Reggie Williams, a 6'6" junior forward from Yonkers, New York. Number 23, Jordan Moody, a sophomore guard, 6'2" from Yorktown Heights, New York. And number 44, Ezra Hodgson, a 6'5" forward. He is a sophomore from Ringe, New Hampshire, the only non-New York starter out of the 10 starters in this game. So, Jake, who should we watch for here tonight from both teams? You mentioned a couple names earlier, but let's go over the keys to the game, basically, for both teams here.
Yeah, well, I'm going to start out with Cortland. Cortland, I always take a note because this, I think, is really important. They're a 38% three-point shooting team. They're a really good shooting team. I watch them. We watch so much of them. They hit their shots. If they get open shots, they're going to hit them. But the two guys, especially, that I would say you have to keep in mind are Jeremy Smith and Brian Manning. Now, they're both three-point snipers. Last year, actually, Jeremy Smith hit 9 threes in one game last year. So these guys can rain. They can hit threes. That's, I think, the biggest thing for Plattsburgh. Make sure their perimeter defense is really good. And they got to keep Kevin McMahon. They got to stop him down low. And the guy I didn't get to, which I did a little bit earlier, was Jesse Winter. Everything runs through him. He's the best player in this team. He's the spark plug. He makes everything go. As for Plattsburgh, Khalik Parker, who, if you look in our stat sheet here, he's not even in the top 3, but he was 6 of 8 from 3 yesterday, and they weren't open shots either. He had hands in his face on every single one of them. He was hitting everything. He's the guy he comes off the bench. He's the guy you're gonna have to keep in touch. But the guy I think is probably most important for Plattsburgh is Chris Manning. You look, he doesn't score that much, but he averages 4.4 rebounds, 5.9 assists, and 3.9 steals. He's a definition of a stat sheet stuffer. So I think it's going to be important for Cortland to keep tabs on Chris Manning. And it's going to be interesting also to see how both teams come out defensively. 6
wins in a row for Plattsburgh State. They're the hotter team based on win-loss streaks, and Cortland, I believe, with 2 wins in a row here coming into this game. But hey, if you win tonight, you punch your ticket into the NCAA Division III men's basketball tournament, and we are underway. And it is Cortland controlling the ball. Jesse Winter right now will pass it over to Smith. Smith at the top of the arc, sends it to the left, and Hafili looking for some help down low, and it will go cross-court, set to Winter. Winter back around, now back to Winter. 14 on the shot clock, and the ball's knocked out of bounds. Stays Cortland ball with 11 on the shot clock now, 19:35 on the game clock, and no score.
So we see Plattsburgh coming out with a 2-3-D here, and right there they're rotating really well to start off the game. Jesse Winter had to just try and get a pass in there.
And Sternkoff sends it back out. This is Winter driving with 6 on the shot clock, kicks it out, and that 3 is no good. Rebound goes to Plattsburgh. That's Moody right now driving with man behind him. He'll stop finally and come out to McIntosh. McIntosh sends it right to Manning in front of the Cortland bench right now. Decent crowd forming here, probably about 40% full, but you'll probably see more fill in here.
Yeah, they'll come.
Latecomers, it's Saturday afternoon, right? In the meantime, that's McIntosh taking a long 2 off the side of the rim. Rebound is by Sternkoff. Hafili will cross the timeline, send it to the left and Winter. And back over. Is it Hafili or Hafeli? Hafili. You know, by the 18th time, I'll have it down. Don't worry. Hafili for 3. How's that?
Hafili for 3.
Nice shot there, though. Posted up. Nobody really guarding too closely. It looks like a little zone being played, not man-to-man by Plattsburgh. And there's a foul called against Cortland, kind of a cheap foul outside the arc. It's going to be number 5, I believe, was the signal.
That's Chris Manning.
Yep, Chris Manning.
Yeah, and both teams are coming out with zone here. And actually, Heffley, I completely forgot about him. He's kind of Cortland's glue guy. He keeps everything together. He stabilizes the team both offensively and defensively.
See, Cortland, it was against Kevin McMahon, actually, number 50, his first, but a steal by, that's Winter on the inbound, all the way to Heffley, who gets the first 5 points for his team. 5-0, the lead for Cortland.
Really good start, Cortland, both offensively and defensively. They're rotating well. They're getting in guys' faces.
On the other end, that's Moody. They'll send it over to Manning. Back around to Hodgson inside, trying to find. That's Williams with a nice, sweet touch there to end that 5-0 streak. Quick whistle. It's a delay of game warning, I'm wondering.
I didn't see anything.
Most likely that's what is causing that. So he'll tell the referee at the scorer's table that it is a warning. Next time, if there's a touch of the ball after the made shot, it will be a technical foul. 18:04 remaining here in the first half. 5-2, Cortland, the homestanding team, with the lead. Heffley back around to Winter. And now further around, back over to Winter from Smith. 20 on the shot clock. Boy, draped on him was Moody. But somehow Winter shakes free. It's blocked. Can he get it back? Well, there's a scrum for the ball, and no, it will be Plattsburgh ball. Going to the left side, that's Moody now. The left side of the baseline, he picked up his dribble outside for the 3. Hodgson, no, off the back of the rim. Rebound by McMahon. And coming down with it is Heffley. Nice deep passer, Smith, but Smith just couldn't quite get in a better position for triple threat. And it'll be knocked out of bounds and stay Cortland ball. Fortunate for Cortland because of that kind of out-of-control situation on Smith's part.
It's actually a really good outlet pass, but Plattsburgh just did a really good job doubling him up. I'm actually surprised. I thought he was going to call a timeout.
So coming back now, it's Winter with 20 on the shot clock, 17-15 game clock, 5-2 in favor of Cortland. Heffley back out to Winter. To the left, Smith. Can guard pretty closely here. And here's a 3-point attempt missed by Smith, and coming down the other end is McIntosh. Crosses the timeline with a little bit of contact with Heffley. And it'll be back and forth, finally to McIntosh, and now to the right and Manning. Sending around Williams with 20 on the shot clock, and McIntosh wanted to drive, but Heffley said no, sir, and he'll push him back out with 15 on the shot clock now. Manning thinks about the 3, instead posts that up for Williams, who cannot control for a shot, and instead it will remain Plattsburgh ball as it got knocked out of bounds.
No, we saw Williams get an open jump shot, which I haven't really seen from him, you know, in the 2 games I've seen him this year, and there he's in his more natural position.
Quick inbound shot, and didn't hit the rim, but it doesn't matter because Winter with the rebound. Cortland coming down, crossing into the paint, did Winter temporarily. He'll pass out to Heffley, though, as he was out of control. Fake the long shot did Heffley, but Winter can't control it. Coming down the other end will be Moody trying to put it up. It'll be fouled by number 42, Dan Sternkoff. That's his second team foul and the first against Sternkoff.
Yeah, last play right there. I think Winter tried to pass the ball before he actually got it in his hand. You see that in football a lot where they try and catch it, or they try and run rather before they catch it. And then right there, good job in transition by Plattsburgh going up and getting the foul.
2 free throws coming up for Moody here. And the first one is up, and it rattles home finally. Moody on the season is about a 65% free throw shooter. So odds would say there's about a 65% chance he'll hit this one, right? And this one is good. 5-4, so after a 5-0 start for Cortland, now they're only up by 1 point. Winter crossing the timeline. Smith and Winter playing a little pitch and catch there. Now it will be Winter on the right side, sending it to McMahon. Heffley has the ball, knocked away temporarily. He's on the ground with it, and it's a jump ball being called. Plattsburgh ball by the possession arrow.
Yeah, right now Cortland's just standing around. They're lethargic. They're not doing anything. They're not moving. They're not cutting, and that's the problem. And Plattsburgh's pushing. They're having their guys get up on them, and they're getting turnovers like that.
So it will be Plattsburgh ball. A chance to take the lead here for Plattsburgh. Manning with the ball near the Cortland bench. And that'll be a 3-point attempt missed by McIntosh. And down the other end is Winter. Winner wants to drive. Instead, he kicks it to Heffley for 3. Off the back of the rim. Rebound controlled by Williams. He'll send it back out to Manning. And Heffley, boy, he flies in there. Breakup could have been a sure 2-point pass there. And it's out of bounds to Plattsburgh, but at least Cortland can reset their defense.
Like I said, Heffley's the glue guy. He plays both offense and defense, and he's as hard as a worker as I know.
So it's Manning inbounding it to Moody, and good. 6-5. That's Plattsburgh's first lead of the game.
It's a great play.
So Jordan Moody with his 4th point of the game. On the other end, it's Winter to Heffley. Heffley being double teamed, in trouble, ball knocked away. He controls it still. Back out to Winter with 22 on the shot clock. They can reset. Back to Heffley. His 2-3 zone proving a little tough here for Cortland right now that Plattsburgh is employing. And now Winter just inside the 3-point arc has it rattle out. Rebound by Hodgson. Going down the other way, Moody wants to drive on Winter. They're going to call the charge there. Let's see the replay on it, see what we think. Looks like a pretty good call, actually. What's that?
He lowered his elbow, and, anytime you lower your elbow, that's going to be a charge. He should, I can say he should have known better, but then again, in the game, But, yeah, that's definitely a good call. And going back to the zone, the zone's definitely frustrating Cortland. You can clearly tell they're having trouble. Plattsburgh's doing a great job of rotating and doubling the open man to give him no room to do anything.
Winner will take it across the timeline and then some. Smith with the ball. And he's going to find Manning, who, as you said, is a 3-point threat for this team. Instead, inside, though, it's going to be counted a foul. Kevin McMahon, I didn't think he had a chance in that shot, and yet he tried to dunk it and rattled back in. And 2 points in the foul opportunity for Cortland, who's taking the lead back here, 7-6 with the point pending.
Yeah, a lot of the times, I don't know why, it seems like Kevin McMahon always gets a disadvantage. Like, there's always a smaller guy on him, and right there was the same case, and he just went up there and he got the M1. It was a great play, great pass, and see if he can finish the conventional 3-point play.
You've been waiting to say that all day, haven't you? McMahon is a 68.8% free throw shooter on the season, and he just improved on that number.
I was just hoping I didn't jinx him.
Now you know what it's like, right? 8-6, and we're going to have a foul called against Cortland, their 3rd team foul, but it will be non-shooting. It's called against 24. Yeah, Manning called for the foul, his first, team's 3rd, as I said. 14:27 remaining here, first half. 8-6 in favor of Cortland, as you can see on your screen. Foul called underneath. Let's see if they're saying it's on the shot or on the rebound. It's tough to tell there. They're going to say a hold of the elbow, and there will be 2 free throws. So it was on the shot at a very late whistle.
I was thinking the same thing. But, right there, that's the second time in an inbounds pass they were able to get an easy shot up like that. Coach Spanbauer should not be happy about it at all. You can never let that happen.
Jordan Moody makes the first free throw. Lamar Herron was the man called for the foul for Cortland, his first, team's 4th. Moody leads all players on the floor right now with 5 points, make it 6 points. And we go back all the other way here with Smith crossing the timeline. Smith trying to get a little bit of a screen, he did, but it didn't lead to much for him. So Manning will take the ball back now. 22 on the shot clock. Manning sends it to Smith. Smith inside, now back underneath. Hello, Mr. McMahon.
That was a great play. You talk about they were having trouble with the zone. We know the way you beat the zone is penetrating passing, and right there, definition, that is how you beat the zone.
Down the other end, it's going to be Hodgson. Back around into Manning. Underneath, Moody's down low, but too deep. He'll pass it out to Manning, who drove, but had it knocked away by McMahon. Smith on a one-on-one opportunity is fouled, trying to go up by Ezra Hodgson. Hodgson's first, team's 3rd.
There's a case of great defense leading to great offense. And back on the last play again, Cortland is beating the zone right now, and right there they play great D. Don't give Plattsburgh any open shots. They get the transition bucket, and now they're going in. Let's see if they can get the 2 free throws.
And Smith will take his first of 2 and make it. Best free throw shooter on the floor in terms of regular players for Cortland, 84.3%. Not the man you want to be following on this floor.
It's just a really good shooter. Like I said, he had 9 threes in one of the SUNYAC games last year.
Make it 12-8 in favor of Cortland. Not their largest lead. That was 5-0 earlier, but we're getting close. Moody picked up his dribble, and he had to get some help from Hodgson. Back around now to McIntosh. And ball was fumbled away, but Manning controlled it. Hodgson for 3. Yes, it's a 1-point game. 12-11. Coming down the other end now will be Winter. It's been a little bit quiet over the last couple minutes here. Winter drives part way. He can't get to Smith with it, so Manning down into the lane. It puts it up, and we'll get 2 free throws for the attempt and a chance to take the lead back.
And on the last play, at this time of the game, it's 12-11. A lot of the times, Cortland gets frustrated with the zone, and they try and push it a little bit too much early in the shot clock, and that was the case there. Winter penetrating, and Manning got the steal, and now he's going to try and get 2 buckets. And on the play before that, Hodgson was the one who hit the 3. We got to keep tabs on him because he's a 42% three-point shooter. He's their sniper 3. Basically, he's their Manning. I wanted to figure out how to incorporate like a Peyton or Eli quote in there, but I couldn't process it.
It wasn't happening. Misses both. Back to action here. And Winter sends it over to Manning. Back to Winter, and now around to Smith. 23 in the shot clock, under 13 on the game clock, first half. Kicks it out. Winter had to jump for it. Over to Manning. Manning wanted to take that 3, but looked like he had a man in his face. That was McIntosh who stopped that from happening. This time he'll take the 3. He'll make the 3. It's 15-11, 4-point lead.
The thing about Manning is he's got a really high release. It's really hard for people to get a hand in his face.
Ball's knocked out of bounds by Plattsburgh, so Cortland will get the ball back. Try and take their largest lead of the game on this possession. They're up by 4 right now, trying to make it 6 or 7. Winter over to Smith, back to Winter. And Smith, a little pitch and catch, now to Manning in the corner, so he'll come back out with it. Manning's thinking about driving, thinking about shooting, instead gives it off to Heron. His 3 misses, and it's rebounded to Moody. Moody over to McIntosh, driving the left side of the baseline, but he hits it off the underside of the rim, and Manning got the rebound, knocked out of bounds, stays. Cortland ball, 12:03 remaining here, 32 on the shot clock.
Yeah, really good job by Manning there. He had, I think it was McIntosh went on him, which is it's not a good matchup for Manning, but he did a really good D getting the rebound and pushing the pace.
So, inbounding the ball.
Now, Khalid Parker's a guy to keep tabs on because he hit 6 threes yesterday, and like I said, they were all in his face.
Under 12 here in the first half. No media timeouts today. And here's an attempt at a dunk. Miss. Bodies crashing to the floor. Another attempt by McMahon there. That 6'6" size, is just almost unstoppable. But Ezra Hodgson has to foul him there. I was going to say again, that's only his first, team's 4th. But, with that size, you could run out of fouls pretty quickly trying to defend underneath if you can't get a body on him.
Yeah, definitely. And a guy like Hodgson, your best three-point shooter, it's going to be hard. You don't want to take a weapon like that out of the game, especially this early. And, McMahon, it was almost, we saw the backdoor play where he had a dunk before. It was almost the same exact play. The zone, yeah, they can play really well, but sometimes if the offense beats it, it's just going to happen.
Second free throw is good. It's Manning over to Hodgson. And now playing a little out of position there was Parker. Back out to Manning to kind of reset things here. 23 in the shot clock. 11:40 on the game clock. 6-point lead, largest lead of the game for Cortland. Manning facing off right now with Smith. Tries to put up an alley-oop type pass, and nobody at all is home. It's Cortland ball. Some sloppiness suddenly here by Plattsburgh.
Yeah, definitely. I don't know what he was trying to do there. One thing about both these teams is they are very prone to turnovers, and especially that's going to be an important points off turnovers. So right there, I think that's actually the second or third time Manning's been an errant pass.
Manning fakes the 3 over to Smith, now down to the right corner, and Heffley with the 3.
Great ball movement, moving the ball around. People are moving around, and you're going to get open shots, and Heffley's one of your gunners.
8 points tonight. That leads all players, and it's a 9-point lead for Cortland. 20-11. I didn't think we'd see that kind of jump by either team, to be honest with you. I thought we'd have some kind of close play for the entire game here, or the entire first half of the game, and not quite the case right now.
Well, keep in mind there's still 11 minutes left in the first half. I know it's a 9-point lead right now, but both these teams are resilient, gritty, and tough. I would say this is far from being pulled away. But Cortland is definitely, they picked up the pace. They're like I said before, they were stagnant. They were standing around doing nothing on offense, and now they're moving around, getting open shots. They're getting the backdoor cuts to McMahon. They're getting the open threes from Manning. They're getting the open threes from Smith and Heffley. And then playing much better right now. It's going to be interesting to see how Plattsburgh responds to this Cortland run.
20-11. 5-0 was the initial spurt by Cortland. And I think, 12-11 was it is an 8-0 run currently.
Yeah, they were up 12-11.
Yeah, after Moody had missed 2 free throws that could have given Plattsburgh the lead, I believe, or Manning, excuse me. That is how we got there. Mike Mitchell in right now for Plattsburgh, kind of a shorter player, shortest man on the roster, actually, 5'8", sophomore guard. Milford, New Hampshire, he's from. He'll send it out to Hodgson. Down to Fields in the game. Fields with his heights trying to find the basket underneath. Off the rim, gets his rebound, puts it up. He's fouled, and we'll get 2 free throws in the process.
Yeah, really nice play right there. You know, he's one of their bigger guys. He's one of their guys who can play the post, who can play down low. And right there, he missed the first opportunity, but really good job getting his own rebound. And now he's going to see if he can convert on the 2 shots.
Breaking the streak, hopefully he's thinking right now. Shavar Fields, junior forward. He's from Albany, New York. Misses the first.
Jinxed him.
It'll happen once in a while.
They'll make it eventually.
I
mean, if they don't make it, then something's seriously wrong.
Well, that's 3 free throws in a row that they have missed. Fields is actually a 62% free throw shooter in the season, though not many attempts to go by. Oh, and just makes the 4th attempt, basically. That could have been a miss in a row. Down the other end, Cortland with this lead of 8 points right now, trying to expand it again, this time to double digits. Heffley's in trouble. Manning will take it from him on the right side of the baseline, back out to Heffley. Heffley will come out with it and send it to Smith. Back to Heffley, 14 on the shot clock. Manning for a long 3, off the front of the rim, rebound by Mitchell. Shortest guy in the court got the rebound in that case, and he's going to continue to drive now, come back out, past the arc. 26 on the shot clock. Hodgson over now to Leek Parker in the game. So about 3 different players out since the timeout for Plattsburgh. There's one of them, Shavar Fields, who knocks it out of bounds. Cortland ball.
Wasn't a bad idea right there. He actually had the positioning. He just missed the pass.
Now Gary Tibbs, 6'4", sophomore forward, comes in for Ezra Hodgson. So you trade 6'4" coming in for 6'5" coming out for Plattsburgh. Smith around to Heffley. 23 on the shot clock. Smith will take the long 3 himself, and nothing but the bottom of the net. An 11-point lead, the largest of the game.
Smith's one of those players, he could go 0 for 30, and then all of a sudden he could go 30 for 30. He's got unlimited range, and you always have to keep tabs on him, especially behind the 3-point line.
Mitchell over to Parker. Parker with Heffley on him tight, so he'll have to pass it up. A little bit of trouble for Fields again. Not great in the ball handling so far this evening, and Mitchell will reset with 12 on the shot clock. 9:18 on the game clock. Now make it 10 on that shot clock. Mitchell sending a nice pass to Moody underneath from the right side of the baseline. He's able to drive and get it.
That was a great play. You know, we talk about the cuts. People always got to cut, and right there, Mitchell found the cutter, and he put it in for the basket.
Foul being called against Cortland, against Manning. They're going to say he screened or picked, apparently.
Some moving screen?
I guess so. Didn't see it myself, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I didn't. I mean, I saw the bump, but I'm not sure if that's a moving screen.
Well, they called it nonetheless, so it's a 9-point lead and looking to get chopped down further. Mitchell has the ball right now for Plattsburgh. 25 on the shot clock. Manning facing off against him. He'll send it over to Parker. Back out to Mitchell. Mitchell's pretty nimble, I'll say that much for him.
Yeah, definitely for a small guy.
Now Fields having trouble again handling the ball, but he got it back underneath and puts it in again. That right side of the baseline proving pretty good for Plattsburgh. 4 points in a row from that same zone. Here Manning thinks about the long 3 again. Up by 7 is Cortland. Smith back out to Heffley to Manning. 4-3 from the left side, off the side of the rim. Mitchell with the rebound again. He may be the leading rebounder.
He's spark plug off the bench.
Mitchell will send it over. Tibbs over to Parker. Now back to Mitchell eventually. 21 on the shot clock. Now approaching 8 minutes on the game clock. Ooh, that was a travel. Tibbs didn't get called for it, though. That foot kept carrying while he had the ball. In the meantime, though, Tibbs gets it back underneath. He tries to put it up and in. 6-0 run right now by Plattsburgh. 5-point game.
Right now, Cortland doesn't have the size that they did at the start of the game, and Plattsburgh's taking advantage of that.
Smith over to Heffley. Now to Manning on the left side. Will he take the three again? No, he will not. Smith thinks about it. Back to Manning. Double team. Back to Smith. Because it was double team, he was open, but misses it off the back of the rim. But there's an offensive rebound here into Manning. Misses the long two. And securing the rebound was Parker. Got to watch that elbow, my friend, because if you hit somebody with it, you'll be called for a flagrant one. Mitchell. 24 in the shot clock. 6-0 run Plattsburgh's riding. Ever since Mitchell's been inserted into this game, that's pretty much how they've ridden that run.
He's getting rebounds, he's getting assists, playing good D.
Parker in the lane, puts up a tough shot. Manning with the rebound for Cortland. Coming down the other end, Smith crosses the timeline, wants to continue, but will not. Picked up his dribble, needs a little help, and Manning has to get back out to do so. To the left, Heffley, 4-3. 3 threes for Heffley, and 11 points on the night for that young man.
You know, he's a quiet guy on the court, but, man, you give him an open three, he'll make it.
8-point lead now after that 6-0 run is broken. And he does get the steal. Smith was a one-on-none technically, and he puts it up and in. Just like that, it's back to 10 points.
Great response by Cortland from the Plattsburgh run. They really picked up their D, and that's leading to good possession on offense. And right there, you got the transition turnover and timeout by Plattsburgh here.
10-point lead, 28-18. Let's come back out to the scoreboard and look at the foul situation while we have the opportunity here. And you can see 7 fouls against Cortland, 4 fouls against Plattsburgh, and a mascot going through your screen.
Yeah, Blaze does that.
The Blaze, the Red Dragon. The Cortland Red Dragons, yes they are. In case you couldn't tell, they have a mascot to prove it.
Yeah, but right now, you know, it's a 10-point lead for Cortland, and I always like to say really good teams finish out halves or quarter strong, and it's going to be really important to see how Plattsburgh not only comes out this timeout, but finishes the half. I would say they should try. I mean, obviously you want to try and tie it, but they definitely don't want to be down by double digits going into the half.
So what do you think? If Plattsburgh loses this game, and you're on the committee, and I know it's tough to take an isolated view of these things, but what do you think about them deserving a bid on Monday? Think about it. We'll get to it on the next whistle. But it is a tough question here, and a lot of people are wondering the same thing. Our friends Pat Coleman and Dave McHugh are definitely looking at that all weekend and want to listen to Hoopsville tomorrow for more on that, Dave's show. On Ustream, there's a block, jump ball, I believe is the call, and Cortland will get on the possession arrow. Nice play there. I believe, who was it, number 31, Spension, who did that?
Yep, great play. You know, sometimes you just got to keep your hands up. He stood his ground, and he gets the, block jump ball, but really good defensive play by Spension.
Jesse Winter back in the game for Cortland. Gives it to Manning, back over to Heffley, who will start to drive on the left side of the baseline. He'll have to hand it off to Spension, and whistle, I believe, was knocked out of bounds and remains Cortland ball. 20 on the shot clock, 5:42 in the game clock, 10-point game here. Winner will send it over to Heffley. Oh boy, he almost picked up his pivot foot, honestly, and there they will retain the ball with 10 on the shot clock. Heffley now again fakes the three, takes the three, and misses the three, and it's rebounded by Parker. He'll hand it over to Correa. Parker over to Mitchell now. Mitchell's remaining in the game here for about a good 4 minutes for Plattsburgh. 22 in the shot clock, 10-point lead for Cortland. Plattsburgh's trying to cut back into it here. And Fields has the ball. Back out. That's Parker with 12, make it 11 on the shot clock. Down to Fields. Fields off the glass and in. Shavar Fields. Technical foul called against Shavar Fields for touching the ball after the made basket. We stated they had stopped play for the warning earlier, and he called it instantaneously to the referee, so it'll be a technical foul.
It was a really nice play by Fields, too. He's done a really good job getting inside positioning and getting those baskets in the paint. But, yeah, you got to know. You got to know you do it once, you can't do it again. Not really smart by Fields there.
It's a technical free throw coming up here. And it'll be Smith taking that, as we said, an 84% free throw shooter. Nobody around him here. all by himself with this 8-point lead. It's up and good. The first one. The second one coming up. And it's a 9-point game. And it's good. 10-point game. So right there, you gave back the 2 points by touching the made basket. And a delay of game technical foul against Shavar Fields goes up on the board. It's his first personal foul. 5th team foul now against Plattsburgh.
That kills you. It's just something so easy. Just don't do it. Now you basically give them 2 free points.
30-20. 9 points for Smith, by the way, after those free throws. And there is Smith with the ball. Back out Winter, 4-3. No, off the back of the rim. Rebound by Williams. And it'll be Mitchell carrying to the front court. Mitchell through the paint. Out of control. Puts it up and count it in the foul.
Well, this kid's something else, isn't he?
I would say. Here, let's watch that replay, and you can tell for yourself here. As Mitchell came into the front court, and he was fouled clearly. And nice shot there by number 12, Jesse Winter.
He's fearless. Smallest guy in the court.
Back will go live now. And here is the free throw, only one. And he makes it. Makes it a 7-point game in favor of Cortland. Largest lead for them has been 11 points. And now Winter sends it over to Smith. Back to Winter. Starts to drive. Heffley to the corner of Manning. So a lot of guard play and small forward play going on here for Cortland. Smith has his 3 partially blocked. And it's stolen back. Manning has it in his hands. Takes a shot, misses off the back of the rim. And rebound this time by McIntosh. He sends it to Mitchell, who stays in bounds. Yes, he does, in front of us. And he'll get it back to cross into the front court with 3 seconds to spare. Mitchell will pop for 3. Miss off the front of the rim, and Manning had boxed out well there for the rebound.
Well, if he made that, he would have made us look really good.
Now it is Heffley. Fakes the 3, and instead sends it over to Winter. Back out now, and left for Winter. Blocked. Heffley collects it. 16 on the shot clock. Shot taken by Heron. That's a 3, and he makes it. 10-point game.
That's just unfortunate for Plattsburgh right there. They played great defense and just an unfortunate bounce that leaves Heron right open for 3, and he nails it.
Mitchell trying to call offense here, and his teammate, Malik Parker, was not cooperating there. Finally does get to the right spot. McIntosh back to Mitchell with 16 on the shot clock. 3:19 on the game clock first half. Back to Parker, and around to McIntosh. McIntosh, met that double team and lost it. Winter driving down into the paint. Oh, he forgot something, but he recollects it. Back to Heffley, 4-3. Off the rim twice. Rebounded by Correa.
Heffley grimacing coming down the court.
Mitchell. He had a player draped on him. That was Heron. Here's a long 3, kind of ill-advised, and a rebounding foul called against McIntosh. Unnecessary there.
It's not a smart foul at all.
16 fouls, so that was their foul to give left. Now it will be a bonus situation. And it will be number 22, Heron, inbounding the ball for the 10-point leading Cortland Red Dragons here. And I'm stretching this as long as I can as we have several player exchanges occurring. 2:51 remaining here. I asked a question earlier, and now I'm going to get my answer. Would Plattsburgh deserve an at-large bid?
It's really close. If I was on the committee, and I wish I was on the committee, I would say yes. I mean, it's really close.
We'll get the why in a second as Winter approaches 3-point line out to Heffley, driving left side of the baseline, kicks it out. 3-point shot by Spengen is missed, and he almost got his rebound back, but instead it'll be Correa, and the ball hits off the referee. The referee saves it, in fact, for Herod. He was in bounds, and therefore it is okay. Winter back out to Smith. Around to Heron. Heffley in the right corner, wants to drive, and now comes back out with it and to the top of the arc. He'll send it to Smith with 18 on the shot clock, 2:09 on the game clock first half. Now to Winter. Winter got a screen set for him, but not much he could do with it. Now Heron kicks it out. Winter 4-3. Yes! 13 points, the largest lead of the game now for Cortland. 36-23.
I'll leave him open.
Manning back in the game. He'll send it over to McIntosh. Wants to drive, but he had Spengen in his face. Back out, way outside the arc. He'll take a long 3 and hits it.
Jimmer range.
25-footer for Shamoy McIntosh. Floral Park, New York native. makes it a 10-point game again.
That was deep.
Smith trying to set up an offense and maybe eat some clock up here. 22 in the shot clock, 1:17 on the game clock. Heron feeds it inside. Heffley is fouled, putting up the shot, and he'll get 2 free throws. So instead of a 1-and-1, because it was a shooting foul, it will be a 2-shot foul, and the foul's against McIntosh, his second, team 7th.
Really nice find by Heron there. He was going up for the shot, but at the last second saw Heffley cutting, and now Heffley's going to get 2 shots. I mean, Heffley just does everything right. He's, you know, there's always that one guy that you would want to have on your team, and I would say Heffley's that one guy.
First free throw is good. It's an 11-point game. I got about 100 viewers live with us right now, sir.
Nice, breaking the 100 mark.
We're glad we could bring you the SUNYAC Men's Championship tonight here from Cortland, New York. And with 28 on the shot clock and 1:05 on the game clock, it is going to be not many possessions time left here for these teams unless we see fouls or steals like that. It's Benjamin has to send it back to Smith. 51 seconds, so about a 22-second differential. Smith for 3, hits it!
Guys, cold-blooded.
15-point lead.
And if you're Plattsburgh, this is probably the last way you want to be ending the half.
5-second differential right now, about 5.5-second differential between the shot and the game clock. So you can see basically 24 seconds on the shot clock right now. Manning with his team down by 15. Wants to try to at least cut into that lead. They also want to play last possession here, does Plattsburgh. Manning still with the ball. 10 on the shot clock. Starts the offense. Kicks it out. That's Correa missing off the back of the rim. Rebound taken by Moody. He is
held.
Fouled on the floor, but it is a 1-and-1 situation.
Yeah, nice play by Moody. Got the rebound, started going to the basket, and I believe it was a...
Right there, you can see, well, yeah. Only question is, was it shooting or was it not shooting, I guess, ultimately.
Well, it would depend if you're going to give him the continuation.
Yep. So I'm going to say, I believe 1-and-1 still. So, yeah, they are already going to the lane for it. And he does make the first, so 9 seconds left here in the first half. 14-point lead, his 9th point of the game. Moody has 9 of the 27 for Plattsburgh. Manning back in the game probably for his 3-point shooting ability here if they can get one quick one.
If you're Plattsburgh, you definitely can't let Cortland score. 13 points bad enough. You don't want to get any worse than that.
Second free throw up and no good. Heffley with the rebound. 6 seconds, 6.5 seconds. Make it 4 seconds now. Winner kicks it out. Heffley gets it off in time and misses it. But they didn't miss much. Heffley sure didn't miss much in that first half. 41-27 your score at halftime in favor of Cortland.
Yeah, definitely. You know, Cortland was just a better team in the first half. I think the first 5-6 minutes, both teams looked a little, or rather, it was the defenses that looked really good. But then after that, Cortland picked it up. They once they got on that 8-0 run, where it was 12-11, they went on that 8-0 run. They really took off after that, and you can definitely see it in the score. Plattsburgh is definitely going to have a lot of talking to do in the half. They're going to need to fix things up both offensively and defensively. They definitely got to key in on the perimeter. I said before the game, perimeter is going to be huge, and we know Heffley's hit a couple, Smith has hit a couple, Winters hit one, Manning's hit one. They're definitely going to have to key in on that at the halftime break.
Jay Katz with me, Frank Rossi here at halftime. We're going to take a step away, catch our breath here, maybe get some pizza in the hospitality room. I heard I'm a sucker for a good slice of pizza, I got to tell you, Jake.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm from New Jersey, so I go into New York.
There you go. What part of New Jersey?
Sparta. It's up north.
By Ramapo, anywhere?
Well, I know a couple that go to Ramapo.
They celebrated last night.
Montclair, we're spread out everywhere.
The whole and Jack, you're basically covering. We'll talk more about that game last night that I did call and produce a video for Ramapo versus Rutgers Newark and the implications of that game as well as this game coming up here at halftime. It's D3Hoops.com on Ustream.tv. Cortland leading by 14. We'll be back. Wait, you didn't believe me that Jake Katz is actually sitting next to me? It's not just a saying, folks. He really is here at Cortland versus Plattsburgh. And, Jake, I hear a rumor your parents might be watching this broadcast this afternoon.
Well, actually, my dad couldn't find the link.
What?
So, yeah, I actually just called him, but I was going to try and figure it out if we can do it before.
See, all they have to do is put in Ustream and D3 Hoops, and they would find us. It's that easy. Somebody call Josh Katz, Jake Katz's parents, and tell them how to get this broadcast, please, because, you know, this is a big day.
Yeah, I know, right?
It's a little stardom, and he's going to go over some stats for us here from the first half, things that he's kind of caught as he's looked down. There's one thing I caught right away. Number 34, Harrison Heffley, 4 for 8, but 3 for 7 from 3, and you know, it's a pretty good 13 points leading his team. Jeremy Smith closed in on him though toward the end of the half with 12 points.
Well, yeah, definitely. There's two stats that I definitely looked at really hard. I think number one, 21 3-pointers attempted for Cortland out of 30 field goals. That's not good. Even though they're up, they're taking 21 threes. I think their offense should definitely try and be a little bit more efficient. And you look at the turnovers. Plattsburgh has 11 turnovers. Cortland has 4 turnovers. That's huge. If we had the points off turnover stat, I bet you Cortland would definitely be up on that. Also in points in the paint. But, yeah, right now, you go the field goal percentages of both teams, 45-40. It's pretty close. I think the thing that sets apart is Cortland's hit 8 3-pointers. They've made all their free throws. Plattsburgh 7 of 11 from the free throw. But I think Plattsburgh's probably going to need to try and find some threes. They're going to need to play better defense, especially on the perimeter, to get back into this game.
You know, folks, we always say d3hoops.com, and you can see it. It's right there on your screen. Not to cover your face, sorry, sir. But go there because there are over 70 conference championship games being played. Not the actual championship necessarily, but maybe semifinals today across the country, men's and women's basketball-wise. And we can't recap all of them, obviously, for you, but these are going to determine whose tickets get punched, who is really on the bubble, who's falling off the bubble as we speak. It's d3hoops.com, and then Hoopsville you'll want to listen to tomorrow night. After all the conference tournaments are done tomorrow, Dave McHugh is going to cover what you need to know coming into Selection Monday, and then he'll have a Selection Monday special on Monday late afternoon. So you'll find the times and the links and everything else on d3hoops.com. That's where the link is for this broadcast for your parents. So
it's on D3 Hoops?
Well, they might be. It's somewhere.
Because I told my dad to go find it, and he just couldn't find it.
I know that. Let's see. How many people have found us during this halftime
You just go
break?
to Ustream?
Yeah, we got 108 people right there.
You just go to Ustream?
You go to Ustream.tv. Hey, folks, how'd you find us? No, Ustream.tv. And then if you type in the search probably D3 Hoops, you'll probably find us as a live event right now. Or, well, not if you're watching this on YouTube, because that would mean we're no longer live, but that's a whole nother story. Hey, you know what? I think people are sick of seeing us, and maybe it's time for them to see that the players are back on the floor here for halftime. And we'll actually get a scoreboard view up and running for the people at home. You know, if I were not calling this game, I probably would want to be home watching a basketball game in this area today. It is cold. It is rainy and snowy. It's icy in some areas. I encountered that on Route 17 between Manhattan and here today. Needless to say, I got here in one piece.
Yep, absolutely. You know, so up here, the wind's ridiculous. The weather's insane. I just can't wait till summer, but the problem is that doesn't come until I'm gone.
Usually that's right, although you could come up and see the New York Jets in training camp here during the summertime. The facility right across.
It's a circus.
Well, Giants are a circus at SUNY Albany. I mean, it goes with the territory, but it's a nice event. It brings some money to the campus, obviously, in various ways, and you know, that's one reason Cortland plays in a nice basketball facility like this
definitely.
one.
No, it's great for the town. I mean, when there was a football lockout and they didn't have it here, that we probably lost a bunch of money. I mean, especially when we had Tebow this year, I heard it went up a lot. Of course, probably won't be back now.
I was just going to say, how many plays did he play in the regular season again? Nonetheless, we won't talk about that. That's First Take's job. We are back to action, in case you couldn't see it. Manning sends it down low in a partial block, but a foul. Moody went up with it, and McMahon blocked him, but fouled him in the process. That's his second foul. Team's first, obviously, and will lead to a 2-shot foul for Moody.
And that's a good opening possession for Plattsburgh. You know, early in the game, they were getting some nice backdoor cuts. That was working for them, but then Cortland kind of locked down. But right there to start out the second half, they got a really good cut, and Moody's back of the line.
First free throw up and no good. First half free throw shooting for Plattsburgh was 7 for 11. Not necessarily lucky numbers for them there. Now 7 for 12. Second one up and good. So it is a 13-point lead. It was 14. 15 was the largest lead of the game for Cortland before halftime. Smith, cross-court pass, and it's controlled by Heffley. Back to Winter. Winter, who was kind of quiet on the points total. He had a three-pointer, and that was it in the first half. We'll send it to Smith. Back to Winter, 12 in the shot clock. Heffley drives, kicks it out, and Smith, long two, finds it from the right side, about 18 feet out.
He's just a volume shooter. You give him a shot like that, he's going to hit it every time.
Now it's Moody with it. Back out. Well, inside they found a wide open Reggie Williams. Easy lay-in. And now it is a 13-point game again with 19 minutes left.
Really quick take, though, on Winter. Yeah, he has 2 turnovers, but even though he hasn't scored, he's 3 points, 2 assists, 2 rebounds, and 4 steals.
Smith for 3. Nothing but net again. And he leads all players with 17 points now.
When he's in rhythm, you know what? There's sometimes you just can't even do anything about it. When he's feeling it, you might as well just give up.
Moody wants to answer and does so. Three-pointer by Moody. Timeout, Plattsburgh. But this is what's going to be talked about during Tom Curl's timeout. Excuse me. Basically, we can't keep up a back and forth like this. First off, Cortland's going to beat us at it, probably. Second off, you trade baskets all day, you're not going to catch up.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you can't just keep trading baskets. You hit threes, that's great, but you can't keep allowing threes on the other end. That's what's killing them. They're giving up so many threes. And another thing I forgot to point out in the first half, I talked about last game how Kalik Parker hit 6 threes. He had 20 points. He was hitting everything. He hasn't got anything. I'm pretty sure Cortland, I saw them yesterday. They were watching that game, so they had a good plan on Kalik Parker, and they are really going about it really well. He's not getting anything.
That is one of the advantages of these back-to-back night scenarios. Like normally what the NCAA tournament is, if you play in the first game, you can watch the second game or vice versa and scout right off the bat, and only have 1 day to turn, not even a day, probably, what was this, about 16 hours, 17 hours to turn things around for these teams. So, you know, you can get a distinct advantage, or you can recruit quickly or scout quickly on what's going on with that team and who to really guard. Whereas in an NJAC type situation, and let me segue into that real quick, you know, they play Tuesday, Friday. You got a lot of time to watch video. Both teams do. Yep. And kind of an equaling factor there. But again, Rutgers Newark and Plattsburgh will have very nearly the same win-loss records, or at least in the loss column, if Plattsburgh does lose this game. It makes it extremely tough, but Plattsburgh would probably see the board before Rutgers Newark, I would guess. And that's important, because that means that the chances for Plattsburgh to get picked are more, or at least the opportunities to be in the discussion are greater. And getting to the board is half the battle. Getting picked is the other half, pretty much, in these situations.
Yeah, definitely.
Winner with 11 on the shot clock here. 10 now to Smith. Smith fakes the 3. 6 seconds, though, and he's at the timeline. 5 seconds. He's got to start the offense to Winner in the right corner for 3. No, but rebound, in doubt still. Still in doubt, and Manning finally picks it up. So Manning, who looked a little unhappy about something there as he came up with the ball finally, wants to start driving, kicks it out, and that's going to be Moody putting it. No, it's going to be called for the offensive foul. Let's take a look at it on the replay. Coming up right now. Looks like a good call there. Again, looked like the player was set.
Yep, good job by McMahon rotating over and taking charge.
Back live now. 13-point game. Cortland with the lead and the ball. Winner over to Heffley. To Smith, 4-3. No good. Rebound is taken by McIntosh. A little flash of time for going off while he was in the process of shooting that. It can't help a player's concentration, that's for sure. Yeah, there's the 3 on the other end by Jordan Moody, making it a 10-point game.
Well, Jordan Moody's having a really good game today.
So that 16-point lead back down to 10 very quickly here. Winner, 25 on the shot clock, starts to drive into the paint. He had nobody really approach him, so he puts it up and draws the foul. He'll get 2 shots from that.
Yeah, definitely. You know, Winter's he's a really crafty type player. You know, he's not going to wow you with anything, but he's just really good in every area. And right there, he can see that there's an opening in the paint, and he went after it.
So 2 free throws for Winter coming up here, but we have a whistle. I'm not sure what the discussion is. It is 2-shot foul. They were confirming it with the table. And the first one is up and good. 11-point lead. Winter in the first half had not shot a free throw, so he is 1 for 1 tonight. Second one is up and good. 2 for 2. Sure-handed shooter there is Jesse Winter. Down the other end, it is Chris Manning. And he'll start to drive, kick it back out. And that's going to be a long shot, but a 2-pointer miss by McIntosh. Controlled by Winter. Crossing the timeline into the front court. Got a nice screen. It was a set screen, though. On to the other end. It's going to be a 3. Hit by Smith.
The one guy you don't want to leave open on Cortland, and there's a lot of them, but if there's one guy you definitely don't.
20
Smith.
points for Smith tonight. Here's a 3 on the other end. Missed by Hodgson. Rebound by Heffley.
Not a good shot. You know, yeah, you're down by 15, but there's still a lot of time left in this game. You got to be more patient on offense.
Winter driving again. This time out to Heffley for 3. Bang! 18-point game. Largest lead of the game for Cortland.
You can definitely see it right now. If there's one team that's picking up the pace, it's the wrong one. Cortland is just really giving into Plattsburgh right now.
Boy, a lot of contact there. Heffley, I think he took a bit of a hand or elbow to the face in the nose area, but don't see any blood coming from him. He has all of his pieces still assembled, though. That's good. 1 foul for him now and 2 team fouls against Cortland. They're going to say it is an out-of-bounds situation, I believe. Yes, they are. No shot. Manning underneath on the baseline. We'll pass it in. Moody with the ball. Fresh 35, so it's down to 32 seconds now. McIntosh. Oh, he began to pursue, but McMahon kind of playing out of position out there. Was guarding. Underneath. Somehow McMahon recovered enough to get underneath with Williams, but he had to cause a foul to happen to stop the shot. Well, they're going to call against Heffley, actually.
Yeah, I was wondering because I thought that McMahon got all ball, but Heffley might have grabbed him and pushed him.
His second, team's third. And coming up here are 2 free throws for number 21, Reggie Williams, the Yonkers, New York native.
Talked about it before, though. You know, yeah, you can keep scoring on the offensive end, but it doesn't mean anything if you can't get stops on defense. And right now, that seems to be the situation with Plattsburgh.
It's an 82% free throw shooter during the season. He was 22 of 27. Made the first. Second one coming up. And it is up and good.
Nice shot for a big man.
Yeah, cuts it to a 16-point lead now in favor of Cortland, who has the ball right now. Heffley driving, then stopping, and he'll have it stolen. Manning could have a 1-on-none. Instead, now it's a 1-on-2 for Moody, who has it knocked away and out of bounds. It stays Plattsburgh ball, but the defense can now recover for Cortland.
Really good transition D by Cortland. You know, Manning got the ball, then he passed it to Moody, but really good play by, I believe it was Sternkopf, who's going to get credit for the block.
Manning to inbound the ball with 15:38 left here in the second half. And quick shot off by Moody. He's fouled underneath on that approach, and he'll get 2 free throws.
It's the third time we've seen that. We saw it twice in the first half where they get an easy chance off the inbounds under the basket. Winter might have been guarding him, so there was a little bit of a mismatch there, but Cortland's got to shore up that D off these inbounds passes under the basket.
First free throw up, and it rattles out. Here's something to pay attention to on the screen. Notice that 4 underneath the home team. Cortland with 4 fouls already, only 4 minutes into this, to 2 against Plattsburgh. Come back in for the live shot, and here we go. It's a miss off the back of the rim. Rebounded by McMahon.
You know, Cortland might have 4 fouls, but Plattsburgh's not making their foul shots.
That is true. They were 8 for 13 right at the start of this half, I know. And that's not getting much better. Ball knocked away. Smith controls. Thought we were going to wear 2 players there for half a second there. They're coming right at us.
Oh, that happened.
Yeah, I heard. That's a nightmare.
I'm sure Bobby told you.
Yes, he did. 10 seconds on the shot clock. 8 seconds now. Heffley begins to approach now into the paint, but he's being double teamed. Somehow gets the ball off, and it rattled out somehow, some way. Yet Winter is able to reset on the rebound. That shot I thought was in halfway and then came out. But moving screen there against Winter, and that's a bad foul to take there. It's his second, team's fifth. By the way, one thing we missed, Jeremy Smith with 3 fouls. Ooh, did not notice that on the board. Down the other end, thank you very much by Reggie Williams. Makes it a 14-point game. The biggest lead had been 18 points, don't forget.
Well, Plattsburgh's really going to have to start putting a dent in this lead soon. They're really going to have to start converting defensively more than offensively.
Winter got it across with 1 second to spare. Now he'll start to drive left side of the baseline, kick it out. Smith by the sideline has to give it back to Winter with 16 on the shot clock. He'll reset on the right side of the three-point arc. 10 seconds on the shot clock now. He picked up his dribble, lost the ball. Moody coming down the other end. It's a one-on-one if he pursues it. Smith sets up, knocks it away temporarily and fully. McMahon with the rebound on it, or at least the takeaway on that. Check that, that's Sternkoff now. And inside, there's McMahon. Hey, had McMahon on the mind. He gets the easy 2. Timeout by Plattsburgh.
Really nice play by Smith there. He just goes down and goes up for the shot, and they just completely lost McMahon because you have to put 2 on Smith in that situation. McMahon gets the easy layup.
56-40, 16-point lead in favor of Cortland with 14 minutes remaining. So we see this huddle right now by Plattsburgh. What are you saying to your team?
You're saying, guys, you got to start getting back on defense. You know, we're doing all right offensively. I'd probably be pretty happy offensively, but defensively, we're not rotating, like right there. We're not getting back in transition. We're not staying there. We're not moving our feet like we should, and that's the problem. The score at half was 41-27, I believe.
Yes, it was.
So, I mean, Cortland scored 15 points in 6 minutes. I mean, that's not bad, but especially being down 14, you got to play better D. That's what the coach is telling them right now. You guys have to play better defense.
By the way, this is the second half, not the first half. Our graphic had never changed on us, so there it is now. The second half of this game, the winner will advance to the end.
This is the first half.
If we got the NBA happening, it's suddenly the Knicks-Pacers from the other night.
I don't want to talk about it.
Oh, you're that kind of Knicks fan, huh? Thank you very much. You just got updated stats here, and you were asking about free throws. Read what Plattsburgh's line is.
Yep, 10 of 17. And look at that right now would make it 11-point. Cortland, have they missed? Yeah, they're 11-11. You say Plattsburgh's 11-11. They're down 9. It's a completely different game.
So it is 56-40. 7 points, would make it a 9-point game. At least they'd be in it here.
Or at least if they made 5, it would still be an 11-point game. But it's just a huge difference.
Cortland shooting 17 for 38. 17 for 38 versus 13 for 27. I mean, that's the weird line here. So you look to rebounds
look
after that.
How many threes they've taken.
Yeah, that's the difference because rebounds are pretty much equal, 20-17 in favor of Plattsburgh. That's not enough to account for this. Out of bounds will remain.
Really, just a matter of Cortland getting more open looks for 3 and making them. And like I said, that's the problem. You know, Cortland's they're 38% three-point shooting team as a whole, which is a fantastic number. And you knew coming into the game that you were going to have to.
Easy shot there by Williams.
You were going to have to play the perimeter defense really well, and they didn't do it well in the first half, and they haven't done it well to start out the second half. And should go back to that play right there again. The inbounds pass under the basket. Cortland gets beat again.
Kind of a cheap foul there in the backcourt by Manning, and so that's the team's third. They're evening up that foul total slightly again.
Yeah, you know, he was just trying to maybe get lucky at a steal at this point.
So Jeremy Smith in front of us will inbound the ball. 20 points, 3 fouls on the night right now. And Winter in the backcourt. 13.5 minutes left. I mean, Plattsburgh's got to start to get this thing to 10 points soon. You don't want to cross the 10-minute mark down by more than 10. It just starts to deflate you, really, in this game. Winter thought about the 3, driving, kicks it out. And McMahon makes a long 2. Smooth shot for a big man there.
He can make it. He can make that shot. I've seen him make it in practice a ton. I've seen him make it in games a ton. And Plattsburgh's got to know that. They got to know that McMahon can hit that shot. And again, it does Plattsburgh no good to be trading buckets at this point. They have to get stops defensively.
And here's a 3-pointer by Edward Correa. The Bronx native hits the 3 to make it a 13-point game.
Again, though, it seems like every time Plattsburgh scores, you know, Cortland comes back, gets a 3, gets a 2, gets a 3-point play. So they really, really got to pick the pace up more defensively right now.
Smith with 18 on the shot clock. Over to Heffley. Now to Manning, just reinserted into the game. 11 seconds on the shot clock. Thinking about that 3, taking a long 2, actually. Misses, and it's Plattsburgh ball. Uncharacteristically bad 3 attempt there.
Yeah, the clock was running down, but that's definitely better defense by Plattsburgh. You want to make Cortland take shots like that. If they're going to take threes, those are the threes you want them to take.
58-45 in favor of Cortland. Plattsburgh looking to cut into that. Mitchell's back in the game. We saw him spark his team as the guard earlier in the first half. For about 5-6 minutes, they went on a little run there. And it will be Mitchell with the ball right now. 17 on the shot clock. Starting the drive, now coming back out with it. Heffley wants to guard him, but he's going to let him go if he's going to play that far back. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Mitchell fakes the three. Inside, Williams fouled and almost gets the three-point play, but instead he'll get 2 free throws. Nice idea, though. I guess you want to score, penetrate if you can. I think the differential also, you got to look at turnovers in this game. When we got our last update, it was 13-7 against Plattsburgh.
Yeah, like I said, coming into the second half, I think it was 11-4. And, yeah, a lot of turnovers. Plattsburgh's got 13. That's not really good. Cortland, though, they got 7. But it really, like I said, I wish we had the points off turnover stat because that's a huge one, especially because a lot of those turnovers, I'm sure, resulted in transition buckets.
Fran, our favorite SID in the house tonight. No, well, I can't say that. The Plattsburgh SID has been just as good for us. Everybody's great here at Cortland and Plattsburgh. I've been up there doing games for them as well. Did some tournament games about 6 years ago up there. And great conference in general, the SUNYAC and all the schools I've encountered in it. So it is back to an 11-point game here. Had been 18 at one point, if I remember correctly. Oh, Smith was out of control. Now it's a 2-on-none here, and it's going to be McIntosh getting the easy bucket there. And the lead's back down to 9 points.
No pun intended, but that's a cardinal sin. If you're going to jump in the air, you better shoot it. Never pass the ball. If you're in the air, always make sure you're going to shoot it, because right there, he had no idea what he was going to do, and then he made a turnover because of it.
And they're going to call, it looks like, Shavar Fields for a foul. No, actually. Let's see who they put up there. 34. They're going to say that Correa is fouled there, rather, and it's the 4th team foul. Note that 16 fouls against Cortland, so Plattsburgh is in the bonus on the next foul.
That's huge.
Winner in the backcourt being tracked by Mitchell. 58-49, closest it's been since the first half. Cortland with the ball and the lead still. Man, still out of position. Now he's going where he probably does belong, underneath. 20 on the shot clock. Winner approached Mitchell, but he'll send it over to Smith instead. Smith wants to drive. He does on the right side, but they're going to say on the floor. Another cheap foul on the ground there. This time McIntosh, I believe.
Yeah, you know, we said
his third.
Plattsburgh's 1 foul away from being in the penalty, or rather,
they have one more to give. Yeah,
they have one more to give. But now Cortland, you know, both teams are about to get up to the penalty in about 10 minutes in this game, and you know, it's certainly it's good for. It would be good for Plattsburgh, even though they're not making their shots, but just to stop the clock. But it's not good for them defensively at all, because Cortland can make their free throws, and especially with this much time left in the game, that's the last thing you want.
And the Heron back in the game, by the way, for Cortland. But Winner backing up to the timeline, 26 on the shot clock. Yeah, McMahon will leave it back for him at the top of the arc. 20 on the shot clock now. Mitchell's on him like glue, but he will begin to drive. 4 red jerseys collapse, so he'll send it to Manning for an easy 3 in the left corner. Back to 12 points.
Manning's going to hit that. He's their sniper. He's their go-to guy from 3 if he's wide open, aside from Smith. And Winter penetrates, finds Manning in the corner.
Yeah, Winter drew a quadruple team, and obviously somebody was open, and Manning snuck over there and was wide open. On the other end, though, Shavar Fields, a nifty play after passing the basket. He hooked it back in. Boy, 10 points.
This is something I really didn't see. I really didn't see them taking advantage of Fields. He's been really nice in the low block, getting a lot of nice moves going to the basket.
On the other end, McMahon, as we reach the 10-minute mark now, at the 10-point mark. So, hey, Plattsburgh still well in this game, definitely here. But they got to show some kick here and some defense, to say the least. And here's McMahon with the charge. That was an easy call. Oh, but a slam of the ball in the court. I'm surprised they didn't call technical. Number 34, Edward Correa there.
Yeah, I definitely would have expected the technical to be called out. You know you're not allowed to do that, and that was a really nice rotation. That's definitely a charge.
And here's the replay. You see the charge, and then we keep watching. You'll see him slam the ball, and the refs think the better of it. He is a freshman. Bless you, sir.
Thank you.
He's got to get out of that habit of letting his emotions show through like that. Nonetheless, 10-point game. Mitchell on the sideline. He touched, and he would have hit the three if he had taken it. That's the real bad part of it. So out of bounds to Cortland.
That would have been a 7-point game.
Yes, it would have, but instead remains 10. Turnovers. That's going to be pretty much the story here, I think, for Plattsburgh. If they lose this game, they never gave themselves a chance to really win it at any point.
And that's just not a smart foul. I mean, what are you doing? You're 25 feet away on the three-point line on a center. What's he going to do? Why are you doing that foul? That's a terrible foul.
And it's Shavar Fields, his second, team 6, though. Both teams now in the bonus. 7 and 6 fouls for Cortland and Plattsburgh, respectively. Winner by the timeline. Sends it over to Sternkopf. Back out now to Heron. And now Smith, 4-3. In and out, and hit the court up top, but it's allowed still. In college, you can have that happen. So rebound went to Plattsburgh. 28 seconds remaining on the shot clock. 9:05 on the game clock. It's a 10-point game. Here's a real big chance, though, for Plattsburgh. After that turnover, there's a kick ball. Reset out of bounds. They'll be at 19, though, still.
Let's see now if we, with about 8 minutes, 50 seconds in the game, I said Khalid Parker was a non-show in the first half. Or not as much of a non-show as Cortland doing a really good job D'ing up on him. But right now, let's see if they can maybe get some open shots for him and get him some opportunities.
It's always funny to watch the score get closer and the Ustream hits increase. And we have 130 viewers right now as this game has gotten a little bit closer now. Here's a three missing everything. It was basically an NC State-style pass for Edward Correa to hit an easy shot. Just missing Jimmy V right now on that shot.
Yeah. Well, Parker, those were the shots he was making yesterday.
Winner around to Heron. And he'll spin, kick it back out to Winner, though. I thought he was going to actually take the shot or send it to Manning. Winner drives down low. Shot is missed by Heron. Not his favorite possession of the day, I bet. On the other end, Mitchell. And that's going to be Moody for 3. Missing, but Manning with the rebound. Going down the other end. It's going to be a 3-point attempt. Hit by Winter. Making it an 11-point game.
Yeah, that's huge right there. It's a 6-point swing. If Moody would have hit that shot, it would have been 5 points. Instead, it's 11. But going back to Moody's shot, I really don't like that. There's still a lot of time left in this game. I think it's more important for Plattsburgh to get good offensive possessions.
There's a missed 3, and it's going to be rebounded by Manning. Going down the other end, Winter kicks it out to Manning. It will look like he dragged his pivot, and he misses the shot. So kind of justice at the end of the day there.
Ball don't lie.
Mitchell with a no-look pass, but he should have looked because he missed Moody.
That was a good idea, but I don't think it was actually. I think Moody saw it. It was just a really fast pass. He just didn't get his hands up in time. 11-point
game in favor of Cortland. Right now, though, you look at Cortland's side of the scoreboard, and of their 64 points, if my quick math helps, 50 of them are on the floor right now. As we go to a timeout here, let's look at the scoreboard to the degree we can fit in our shot here. And you'll see 7 and 6 fouls there. Home team being Cortland tonight, in Plattsburgh the guest. 7:35 remaining, 11-point game. It was 8 until that three-pointer. And, again, you have 50 points on the floor versus really an interesting bench effort, more or less, here tonight for Plattsburgh. They're only representing 28 of their 53 points on the floor right now. Tough to see from that, but you can see the foul totals on the floor. 2 players with 3 fouls for Cortland, and that is Jeremy Smith and Brian Manning. And that would be a tough loss if Manning were to go out as well. 2 3-point threats could be in trouble here if they pick up their 4th foul.
Yeah, definitely. We got to keep tabs on that. But it's more, the thing is, Cortland, I'm not going to say they're a team that they're not a team that lives and die by the 3. They're just a really good 3-point shooting team. But tonight, they've lived and died by the 3, and they're hitting their 3s. And it's hard for Plattsburgh, and a lot of those haven't even been contested, which is why I'm saying that's killing Plattsburgh right now. They get it to 9, then Manning hits a 3. It seems every time they get it to single digits, someone hits a 3, and they really got to keep they got to rotate better and get out on those perimeter shooters.
If you notice in the stats, we just got delivered 15 to 9 turnovers. So Plattsburgh has stopped the bleeding per se. They're not like amassing more than Cortland anymore, and maybe that's part of the secret because they are shooting better. They're better than 50% from the field, 18 for 35. And now not turning the ball over as much. That's probably accounting for it.
Look at that again, 5 of 8 from 3. I mean, if you're going to have that three-point proficiency, especially you're going to hit 13 threes in a game, it's going to be hard for any team.
And that's Cortland's stat right now, 13 for 29, 5 for 8 in the second half. And here's a running shot put in by Smith. He's been silent since that 20th point earlier, now up to 22.
He's a versatile player. He can rebound. He's also the best player in Cortland at finding a way to get his own shot. And right there, that was just a really nice play off the glass.
Manning driving, missing. Fields tries to put it back up. He misses the putback. And rebound by 42, Dan Sternkoff. He is a tall man there at 6'9". Looks every bit of it.
Wish I was 6'9".
Wish I was 5'9". Well, I barely am. Smith over to Heffley. And back out to Manning now with 17 on the shot clock. Winner by the timeline. He'll be guarded by Moody. 12 on the shot clock. Winner still dribbling outside of the arc. Now driving in, kicking it out. Here we go again with Manning for 3. You cannot leave him that wide open, folks. 16-point lead.
And look over here.
I just saw there's a fan walking with a Manning photo cutout right next to us as we said it.
Yeah, but you know what? We just talked about it. It's the threes. The threes are killing them. You can't leave guys like Manning or Smith open, especially not those two guys. I mean, there's so many good three-point shooters on this team, and those are arguably the two best.
But here's a chance for a three-point play the hard way.
Really nice play.
And they're going to credit that to number 11. That's Shamoy McIntosh. He'll be shooting the free throw. Yes, he is. So it was credited to him. Second foul being called against Sternkoff, team's 8th. Double bonus is just around the corner here in favor of Plattsburgh.
Well, good job by Plattsburgh. They get the three-point play now with that foul shot, and they stop the clock. And that's what you want to do. You want to either, if you can't get solid three-point opportunities or solid, shots, you want to try and stop the clock and get fouled.
But it is a 13-point game here, under 6 minutes now. They've got to get a couple stops in a row and a couple baskets immediately. Otherwise, this thing is not going to get any closer at the final buzzer.
Got to guard the perimeter.
Smith, a little contact. They're not going to call it, though.
A little bit of a flop there.
Winner driving toward the baseline, but thinks the better of it. Out to Manning for 3. He never really set, so it wasn't a great shot. And going the other way will be Manning for Plattsburgh. He wants to drive. No, he leaves it back. And now it's sent over. Back around to McIntosh. And down low, the foul being called. Is that against Sternkoff?
Yep.
It'd be his third. And that would make a third player with 3 fouls. Yes, it is against him officially. And a 1-on-1 situation here. So defense did work on the other end. They forced Manning into a moving three-point attempt, and he missed it. Now they can get 2 free throws here and make it a 12-point game. It would be success. First one, high arcing shot is good.
And, Fields, he's a 62% free throw shooter. But like I said, you stop the clock, and that's what you want. You're getting 2 points without barely any time moving, and that's exactly what you want. You want to play good defense. You want to get good shots on offense, and if you can stop the clock.
Misses the second rebound by Cortland.
Got to make your free throws, though.
Heffley with that rebound. He'll send it back to Winner. 12-point game. I said they could get it down 12. I actually meant 11, but I was actually right in the end. Winner over to Manning. 20 on the shot clock, 5:05 in the game clock. Winner has
free throws are killing them too.
Yeah, they are.
I think they're 13 of 21, so you think that's 8 missed free throws. They're down 12. If they make at least just 7 of those, it's a 5-point game.
And if you could have held Cortland to only, let's say, 5 threes instead of 13 or 14, I think now. I mean, there's the points. 2 seconds on the shot clock. 1. Winner puts it off the glass. Can't get it to fall. Heffley with the rebound attempt, but he couldn't get it either. And now going down the other way, it's Moody. Moody wants to drive, and he is hacked and fouled. 4th foul now against Sternkoff. And it's a smart play by Moody because you're not going to get a charge that low. It's in the no-charge circle, and he's got 3 fouls. He picks up his 4th. Why not play aggressive there?
Yeah, definitely. I was going to say Moody sees he's got a clear lane to the basket. He takes advantage of it, and he gets fouled, and you're going to get 2 free throws. He's one of their better free throw shooters, and again, it stops the clock.
You can do a lot of damage with a stopped clock in basketball. First free throw is missed. You can do more damage when you actually make your free throws. 65% free throw shooter. Cortland's taking a timeout. You know, it's an interesting choice to make right now. Do you let Sternkoff stay out on the floor, maybe pick up his 5th foul or not?
Well, I think you can go about it 2 ways. I mean, you can say the problem is that defensively you could say they're going to go at him like Moody just did to try and get him his 5th foul. So I would say at a 12-point game, maybe you take him out for a minute and a half, and then you put him back in. Or you could just ride it out. If it was me, yeah, I don't even know. I'd have to have more time to think about this one.
And this is why you're not coaching, huh?
I definitely coach. I've thought about it.
Really?
Yeah. Well,
yeah, you can do it. You gotta make snap decisions, though.
I would probably. It depends. It also depends about how much trust you have in him, about being smart about his foul situation. You know, a lot of times you see in, you know, D1 and like the NBA, there's guys with 5 fouls, let's say, but they keep them in there because they know they're going to be smart about it. They're going to do everything. I would say that Coach Benmeyer is probably going to take Sternkoff out right now.
Here's why it wasn't maybe going to. We also didn't see that Kevin McMahon had picked up his 4th foul as well. That didn't show up on the board. I'm pretty sure about that. So that went under. It probably what happened, they had changed numbers on the board before it went up correctly, but the scores table has it correct. So Kevin McMahon with 4 fouls, and he's back out on the floor, and Dan Sternkoff. So here is your one chance if you're Plattsburgh. Your size, the competition basically, is now in trouble. Can you get them to foul out?
And if you can get McMahon, because those are their 2 big men, especially McMahon. I think McMahon is definitely more of a threat offensively.
Free throw.
Sternkoff's probably.
Another miss by Moody. He saves it, though, to Manning. So they get the reset here, but they got to be a little more urgent here. And they have everybody back in the front court so they can play here. McIntosh back to Manning. Around, inside, but Fields can't control it.
Well, they had the right idea. They were a little patient, but that Fields just couldn't get it. Plus, he was a little bit too far at top to really, you know, get in the zone that he likes, that we've seen him in the early part and a little bit earlier in the game.
I think Winter's got no hurry here, to be honest with you.
Definitely not. You want to milk that clock as much as you can.
And there's Manning back to Winter. 4 minutes now, under 4 minutes. 11 on the shot clock. Smith. He wants to drive. He wants to drive. He's driving. Corner of the paint. Makes it. Jeremy Smith, 24 points, leads all scorers tonight.
Again, you've just seen a variety of moves. He's a really versatile player offensively.
Here's a 3, but nothing but net by Shamoy McIntosh. Timeout. Plattsburgh, I believe. They're running out of timeouts. That's got to be their 4th timeout they've used out of the 6 they get in the game.
Yeah, they're running out of time, too. I mean, you got to get... Now it's the point where you could really use some threes. You don't need the threes, but you could really use a couple threes. But now it's definitely push up the pace, try and get the best shot you possibly can really quickly.
One other thing, remember, a double bonus situation the rest of the way. The one thing that Plattsburgh might need to start to think about is we got 1-and-1s here to give. Who do we give them to if we have to start fouling at the 2.5 to 2 minute mark to have a chance in this game? And if you look at Cortland's free throw shooting stats overall, I know you've got today's stats, but if you look at overall, I guess Heffley is only an 85, or only 85, only 58.5% free throw shooter, Frank meant. So if the ball's in his hands, you might think about fouling and doing a hack-a-shack scenario. Maybe that's how you get some points back here in a 1-on-1 situation.
You definitely think about taking the chance, especially on a guy like Heffley or some of their weaker free throw shooters. I mean, obviously you could try not to smile at guys like Smith and Winter, because they're their 2 best free throw shooters. But maybe if you see Heffley a little out of position, you might try and take that foul to see if he misses the first. It's definitely not a bad strategy.
Stay tuned for the post game, which will be the awarding of the hardware for the SUNYAC. This is the SUNYAC men's basketball championship game. And we will stay with you through that and give you some final stats as well at that point in time. In the meantime, 11-point game. Cortland with the lead. There's Heffley right now with the ball. He is in the game.
Now you see Plattsburgh pressing a little bit, trying to get maybe a turnover.
And they do, almost. Smith, though, only had 1 second to get across. A timeout by Cortland.
And he'll still have 1 second.
You know, this is the rule that I think you're right, but referees reset the count, I believe.
I
know what you're saying. If Pat Coleman is watching right now, he's always Johnny on the spot with the rule book. Are they supposed to reset the count or not is the question when it's never crossed from the backcourt in the first place. Obviously, if it's an out-of-bounds pass back to the backcourt from the front court zone, you reset it into a new 10. But this, I always thought you were right on.
Which also, I don't know. If I am right,
Coleman's
getting the ball there. They're going to have to get a pass over here, so that's going to be a really good chance for Plattsburgh to possibly get a turnover.
I have seen referees restart the count, and it might be wrong. So we'll see in a second here, literally. Here we go. Here's the inbound. And it is a reset of a count. So there's your rule. And a foul. And they fouled Winter. And it'll be a 1-on-1. But I wouldn't have suggested that. 80.8% free throw shooter.
Definitely. It is, again, we talked about it. One of the couple guys you don't want to foul on this Cortland team. I mean, they're 11-11, but he's one of the guys that he's going to drain him in clutch time.
Jesse Winter from the free throw stripe. This afternoon, evening, he is 2 for 2. They both came in this half. First one's up. No good. Well, hey, we jinxed them. And here's Plattsburgh with a chance to take it back down to single digits. And they need to do it quickly with 3:15 remaining on the game clock here in the second half. Moody sends it to Williams. And Williams is trying to set up McIntosh, and McIntosh does take it, but they're taking a while here. 15. It's a 27-foot shot that's off the front of the rim. McMahon with the rebound.
See, now I was going to say you should foul Heffley, but he got rid of it too quickly.
Yeah. Winner, 25 shot clock, 2:50 game clock's just going to play a keep away for a second here, up by 11. I mean, you're at that point where you're expecting a foul to come soon, so why not keep control of it with 81% free throw shooting still? You missed the last one, you'll make the next one probably. 9 seconds on the shot clock. Passes it out, outside of Manning. Fakes the three, takes the three, misses the three. Rebound is going to be controlled by Fields. Manning crosses the timeline. 2:20 left on the game clock. McIntosh is fouled by Winter. It's a double bonus situation, so stopping the clock, you can let them get back to single figures here. Not what you had in mind if you're Coach Spanbauer.
Yeah, definitely not, especially with that much time left in the shot clock, because now you stop the clock and give them a chance for two.
McIntosh, as we said, 2 free throws here.
McIntosh, one of their better free throw shooters at 76%.
Yeah, and he'll miss.
I just got to stop talking about these free throw guys because I'm just jinxing them.
Winner's third foul, by the way. Team over the limit. Second free throw could make it a 10-point game if he hits it. And it is a 10-point game. Nice. Defense, you're going to see a press here, obviously, and Heffley will bail out. And fouling him is not a bad idea.
Yeah, definitely. I don't know if Fields knew that, but a 58% free throw shooter, you shouldn't even question it. You should foul him immediately.
8th team foul, so you got one more 1-on-1 to give after this. Third foul against Manning, team's 8th. Heffley again from the free throw stripe, not his strong suit. We'll see what he's able to do here. In this game, he, though, is 2 for 2. And the Hoyas fans sitting next to me is all happy to see that they're up by 8 on Syracuse right now.
Just had to give a little check. Oh, man. If we win this.
My team lost today.
Who
Miami.
Miami lost?
By 15 to Wake.
What?
Yep.
I like Miami a lot. They're one of my favorite teams.
Their last 3 games, they've really struggled offensively, though.
Did you go there?
I did for a year, actually, for postgraduate school, actually. First free throw made by Heffley.
They got one of my favorite players in the country, Shane Larkin.
Mm-hmm.
Love that kid. He's going to be so good. Actually, they have my favorite player, Reggie Johnson.
Yeah, well, he went 1 of 2, did Heffley, but he's 3 for 4 in the evening. Here's the three-pointer, miss off the front of the rim. Rebound by Smith, and that's probably all she wrote at the 2-minute mark now. Winner with the ball. They're not going to waste the 1-on-1 on him, or are they? Most crossed back into the half court, but he did not walk on the black line. The referee was there to make sure of it. 21 seconds, 20 on the shot clock, 1:45 in the game clock. I think Plattsburgh kind of knows the gig is up here to a degree, as they have not forced the fouls. Playing straight up defense here.
It's gotten incredibly quiet here.
8 seconds, 7-6 on the shot clock. 5, Smith, runner, misses, and McMahon with the rebound, fouled underneath. He'll get 2 free throws.
Of course, just as I say, it gets incredibly quiet, it gets incredibly loud.
Everything you say, the opposite begins to happen, sir. Please tell me it's going to snow outside so that I can walk out to dryness after the ride into here.
Happens every morning. I get out of my bed, I look at the weather, and then I open my blinds and it's snowing. I would say that happens about 6 out of 7 times a week.
McMahon misses the first free throw he's given. He was 3 for 3, so he's now 3 for 4, just like Heffley. Oh, to be an undergrad again, my friend. Second is in. And good. 12-point game. Got to force a quick 3 here if you really do want to take a chance here. Moody wants to drive instead and puts it up. Can't get it to fall. Virtually uncontested and just couldn't get it to slip in. Winner being guarded closely by Manning. He's going to continue to drive. Lost control. He may have been tripped in and a foul called. 12-point game with free throws coming for Winner. This is definitely over as far as I'm concerned. And SUNYAC will be represented by Cortland for sure. But now the question.
I don't see Reggie Miller anywhere, so I think we're all right. Or Jermaine Grant. Don't see Reggie Miller or Jermaine Grant anywhere, so.
But we do see Plattsburgh State wondering what their future holds over the next week.
Now they're going to have to really hope. I mean, again, you can make arguments for and against them not being in the tournament, but it's close. I think it's really close.
I would give them a slightly better chance maybe than Rutgers Newark, but it'll be interesting to watch how this all plays out. Yeah. And Monday you'll find out. D3Hoops.com will have full coverage of the selection and some coaches, thoughts about what happened. You probably will hear from the selection committee chair normally on Hoopsville on that Monday show. So we'll see what happens if Dave McHugh is able to get that interview secured. It's a 14-point game, 75-61 in favor of Cortland. Plattsburgh was stalwart at times here in the second half. After being down by 18, they got it within 9 and 8 points actually at one point, but that was it. They could not get it closer.
I would say the things that killed Plattsburgh today: 1, free throws. You're not going to win a game. Whatever a free throw differential is, I'm pretty sure they missed at least 10. You're going to be hard-pressed to win games here, and now I'm kind of trying to talk over the crowd.
Well, we got some scrubs in for Plattsburgh. Shirgay had missed a shot on the other end. Smith's just dribbling. 20-second differential between the game and the shot clock. Winner with the ball. He'll be guarded by Billy O'Shea. And 5 seconds closely guarded. Almost got it called there. Manning for a long 3 off the back of the rim. Rebound by Moody, who remains in the game. He'll hand it to James Outlaw. And he'll just hold it. That's it. Plattsburgh says we're done here. Will they be done for the season? Well, he'll take the 3, miss it. Rebound. And that's all. Will their season be over, at least for NCAA purposes? They may get an ECAC bid, of course, if they don't make the tournament. Cortland is your SUNYAC men's basketball champion.
You know, it was in a lot of similarities. It was a little similar to yesterday's game. You know, Cortland was up the entire time, but they never really pulled away until the closing minutes. But really, you know, this team, I've been watching them. They're a great team, and I really think they could do something in the tournament. But anyway, Plattsburgh, Cortland, they're going to be rejoicing. They're going to be celebrating tonight. Plattsburgh, on the other hand, is going to be waiting until Monday to see what their fate is.
Absolutely right. Just looking for the win-loss totals now. Let's see. Cortland moves to 23-4. Most likely will host a game here on Saturday. I'm not sure if it's afternoon or night. With this whole men's tournament situation this year, spreading out the way it is, it's very indefinite when on Saturday the games will actually be played. The fact that it's only one game each weekend for the first 3 weekends is just another novelty that will be tough to get used to, so that they can play the Division III Men's Basketball Championship in Atlanta the day before the normal tournament final. So
I just see as a picture of everyone on the team.
You know, that's a super fan here at Cortland. Cutouts of every player. Yeah, and we're going to continue in the post-game to show the hardware being handed out for a little bit here, and then we'll have post-game stats, and we will hang it up from there. So stay tuned with us here. We want to, again, thank you for watching on Ustream, d3hoops.com, broadcast on ustream.tv. You'll want to go to D3 Hoops to see the schedule, obviously, next week. NCAA.com will have all the links for the broadcasts that will be had across the country. Cortland, I know, is trying to put together their own broadcast next week, so we wish them luck and success in doing so. I know Larry Miller, who's been instrumental in getting this off the ground for us tonight, and Fran Elia is the SID, who as well helps out where he can to get this off the ground. They did a great job to get this, so thanks to them for their support and help, and good luck to them in getting it off the ground next week so that viewers like you can stay tuned and see Cortland in the first-round game if it is a home game next week, which I have every reason to think will happen with 30 home games being played next week. When it's only pods of 4, it's different because you don't need as many home sites. But when you're playing only one game, there's 30 home sites. You're probably going to host with only 4 losses.
Yeah, I was thinking they should definitely host.
Well, both teams hit 15 free throws. However, Plattsburgh missed 11 of theirs, where SUNY Cortland only missed 3. Then you look at the three-point total, 6 for 18 for Plattsburgh, 14 for 33 attempts. That's got to be close to a record for a school.
It's like watching a Nick game.
No kidding, 33
I mean, like I said, Cortland, I'm not going to go as far as saying they're a team that lives and dies by the 3, but they do take a lot. Tonight they live and die by the 3. Yeah.
I mean, they get 8 more points basically from that. They shot overall 43.4%. Plattsburgh shot 44.4% for the game. That should tell you the difference. Where the differences were, turnovers, three-pointers, and free throws.
And, I think a guy who we really should give credit to is Jesse Winter. We talked about, he's the second leading scorer on this team. He scored. Smith is the first with, I believe, 15.3 a game, and he got 20 for Roy. Jesse, he got 10 tonight, but look at everything else. 10 points, 7 assists, 3 rebounds, 4 steals. That's an all-around player playing an all-around game in the biggest of situations. You got to give him credit.
And as you can see, Cortland's players, the team being introduced as the SUNYAC men's basketball champions here in Cortland, New York. Never really led by less than double figures in either second half, except for maybe a couple seconds, couple minutes in each case.
Yeah, they're excited. Everyone's excited here. It's a great atmosphere. Great to see.
Absolutely. Cortland, congratulations to the Red Dragons. In 1 week, you will likely be hosting, though we don't know for sure, likely be hosting the NCAA men's basketball tournament first round game. We'll see what happens. Can't predict too far in advance. They don't seed, so each weekend they determine who hosts. They don't reseed necessarily, but they do recompute regional numbers to see if for close calls who should host, and so that can make things change as games are played. But nonetheless, Cortland will probably get at least 1 home game, maybe 2. Who knows if they can win next week. Let's bring our friend back in close here and talk to you folks as team pictures being taken. Hello, sir. Jay Katz rejoining me here. Come on over. You don't have to be scared. I do not bite. At least I ate pizza earlier, so I don't need to. But again, we have the stats here. Anything else jumping out at you today? I mean, Reggie Williams was 4 for 4 from the field for Plattsburgh in a starting role, but he was not out on the floor for as many minutes as I think we would expect, 24 minutes. The workhorse Jordan Moody, he was streaky tonight with 16 points, the leader for Plattsburgh. 32 minutes he played. Jeremy Smith for Cortland as they begin to cut down the net. Show you that in a couple of seconds here, but Jeremy Smith went 8 for 15 from the field, 24 points, but he got those 3-pointers that really put distance between Cortland and Plattsburgh in this game.
Yeah, well, we talk about turnovers. Cortland only had 9 turnovers. If you I don't know how many they average a game. I'd have to check and do the math, but 9 turnovers a game, that's actually pretty good. I mean, they have 5 in the second half. 9 compared to Plattsburgh's 15. That's a pretty similar, pretty nice size disparity. But also, I say the assist numbers. You 18 assists. Jesse Winter 7. A lot of people had at least 2 assists. And if you have 18 to 20 assists a game, that means you're moving the ball well. And I think they moved the ball really well the second half. They got a lot of open threes.
So again, let's see if actually we're going to adjust our scoreboard camera to show you the net cutting ceremony. How's that sound, folks? We'll give you something to watch here besides our faces. And that's actually the wrong shot. Let's see this one right there. We'll show you the net cutting ceremony. We'll straighten it out for you. And you can see the score as well, 75-61. Take a screenshot of that, folks, because there is your SUNYAC championship. The net cutting by SUNY Cortland, and the score 75-61. Final thoughts, my friend, about tonight's game and what lies ahead for these teams?
Well, starting with Cortland, they played a great game both offensively and defensively. There were times they were a little stagnant, couldn't figure it out, but in the end, when they needed to, they figured it out and they got it. And now, like we said, they're most likely going to be hosting a game next week, and that's great for them. They can kind of take a couple days off. They got to practice. Trust me, I know Coach Rammer is letting them days off, but at least for tonight, they're going to kick off, they're going to celebrate. And then on the other side for Plattsburgh, they're going to go back. And they're going to wait till Monday to see what their fate is, because they're definitely close. Like we talked about, there's arguments for and against them making. There's teams that are competing with them, but definitely they're going to go back, and they're just going to wait and hope that the selection committee gives them a chance.
We'll see what happens. Again, D3Hoops.com will take you all through the weekend through what you need to know. Hoopsville as well tomorrow evening. I think around 7 o'clock is when Dave McHugh normally kicks off the show. And last week he went 2.5 hours. Can't see him doing much different this week. He'll have plenty of coaches maybe defending their lives on the show. Probably the ones that are on the bubble saying how nervous they are and why they should be in the tournament. And those that are locked it in saying why maybe they should host a game. Again, I might be down at Ramapo. I'm not sure. We'll see what happens there. But Cortland will hopefully have some coverage for you next week here in Cortland, New York. So let's say our final farewell, my friend, as the last of the net is about to come down. Jake Katz, thank you very much. You did a great job for us today. Again, thanks to Larry Miller, Fran Elia, and the entire Cortland staffing crew. We appreciate it. And until next week, at least for me, until next week, and Jake maybe on a broadcast next week himself, we will talk to you then. A lot to hear and a lot to do in the meantime, so tune in, d3hoops.com, tonight on Ustream.tv. Thanks again for watching, folks, and good night.